What's up everyone, Soldier First Class here. In today's mission, I'm bringing you a quick and easy guide to defeating Rellana Twin Moon Knight, the boss of Castle Ensis Legacy Dungeon. This fight has been frustrating many players along the way, but I'm here to give some tips and tricks on how to quickly take her down. I'll give you my build for the guide, but know that you can take this boss down with things you have on you from the base game, and things you may just have lying around, so don't get too upset if you don't have something from this build. Apologies for the voice too, I've got bronchitis and this shit sucks. Before we get started, if this guide helps you defeat Rellana, leave a like on the video and be sure to subscribe and turn notifications to all so you never miss an upload. Let's get right into it. So to get started, I have a strength build. I know, but hear me out. My build for this boss is a lightning greatsword, the fingerprint shield, lightning misericord which has enhanced criticals, rallying standard, and then any seal will do. With the shield, you want to have something with high guard boost and 100% physical, and as high of elemental resistances as possible. The reason for this is that it will block incoming damage as much as possible and allow us to get off guard counters, which is key to this whole strategy. So while I use the fingerprint shield, you don't necessarily need it for this fight. My Flask of Wondrous Physic contains the winged crystal tier, which reduces equip load, and the stone barbed crack tier that temporarily makes stance break easier. Ash of War is kind of a personal preference here, but make sure that whatever Ash of War or spells you're using does lightning damage because she's particularly weak to it. She's standing in a puddle of water for 99% of the fight, so I think you can do the math on that one. For talismans, I'm running Great Jar's Arsenal for increased equip load, Curved Sword Talisman for better guard counters, Blue Dancer Charm for raised attack power with lower equipment load, and the Dagger Talisman for enhanced critical hits. Now on to the buffs I use. I use the Rallying Standard for an added 20% to both damage and damage negation, and it lasts for 30 seconds. As for incantations, I go for the old reliable of Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength. Golden Vow gives you 80 seconds of 15% increased damage and all damage negation by 10%. Flame Grant Me Strength stacks with this and gives you an extra 20% to damage dealt for 30 seconds. It also increases your stamina recovery plus 5 per second. Buff rotation outside of the boss room is as follows. Start with your Physic, then Golden Vow, then Rallying Standard, and finally Flame Grant Me Strength, and now enter the boss room. Don't worry about your buffs running out, you just want to do as much damage as possible while they're still active. I was able to finish this fight in just under 2 minutes in the run I'm about to show you, so it wasn't a big deal. Rellana will throw a few basic combos at you, but you want to wait until she finishes those combos to strike. Shield up and weather the storm and do not panic. Once she lands the final hit of her combo, guard counter that last attack. She'll have certain openings where you can hit multiple times, but with my greatsword, I need to pick really precise windows as she recovers from her next attacks very quickly. Keep doing this until you break her stance, switch to the misericord and hit the critical. Because of your boosted equip load, Blue Dancer's Charm and Dagger Talisman, on top of the increased critical of the weapon itself, plus the added lightning damage she's weak to, these criticals will just devastate her health bar. At around 50 to 60% health, she'll transition to Phase 2, which is very reminiscent of Pontiff Sullivan from Dark Souls 3. She'll imbue one sword with magic and the other with Mesmer's Flames. She has several devastating attacks in this phase, but again, patience and guard countering are key. Your shield will be able to withstand just about anything thrown its way, so just hold strong and ride out the flurry of attacks. However, there are some moves that you're going to want to avoid. When she begins spinning her flaming sword around her head, run back and avoid the AoE flames that explode underneath you. Then when it's clear, it's safe to approach. She'll also use magic slashes from her other sword that are easily dodgeable but can also be blocked. Rellana also uses a version of Carry and Greatsword, which I recommend dodging to the left, then dodging to get behind her, as the sweeping attack can be devastating if taken at full force. The major attack you need to watch out for is when she rises into the air and forms 2 full moons around her. Those will drop to the ground and explode across the entire arena one after the other, and then she'll slam herself down for another explosion. The best way to avoid these is just to jump over the explosions just before they hit the ground. She'll then continue some of the same combos from the first phase, but some of them will be longer to throw off your time. You'll notice when I was getting greedy that I would take damage, but when I was patient and picking my spots, I was outpacing her. Another thing to watch out for is that her Mesmer's Fire doesn't just hit you once. It has a minor explosive effect that does damage after the fact, so don't stop blocking just because you didn't get hit with the blade. Let her attack resolve and then guard counter. Keep up with guard countering and staggering her, and the fight is over before you know it. And there you have it, Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight, is defeated. I hope this guide helped you take on this tough boss and move even further into this amazing DLC. If this guide helped you at all, light the bonfire on that like button, share this guide with people you know who are struggling, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications to all so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching everyone, I'm Soldier First Class, and I'm on to the next mission. Later guys.